I was preaching, I was teaching, I was counseling, I was performing marriages, all under the influence. My name is Brandon Holt. I was young, I was married, and I started preaching at a really young age. One day we went up to a church retreat. I was driving up the mountain and bam, I was hit by a car. And that day, my life changed forever.
After a 5-hour back surgery, Brandon was in immense pain.
When I was laying in the bed, the nurse said, "Mr. Holt, are you in pain?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Click the pump and you'll feel better." So I clicked the pump and I had a feeling that I have never felt before. And I said, "Ma'am, what is that?" She said, "It's morphine." I said, "Well, let me get some more of that morphine." And so I was clicking the pump every 30 seconds. Nothing else mattered. I had no care in the world. I had no issues. But that was the day that my addiction triggered. My body started withdrawing. I needed the drugs to function. And when they weren't in my system, I started sweating real bad, headaches, nauseated, agitated. My behavior was out of control. I said to myself, I have to get more of this stuff. Whatever I have to do to feel good, that's the kind of stuff I need to take. I remember when I would get up on Sunday mornings, I would make sure I took my dose before I got to church. Then when I got to church, before it was time to preach, I would have some pills in my pocket on the front row. And I was real quick. You know, I would act like I was coughing and I would put the pills in my system immediately. When I got to the pulpit, often I would keep a white cup full of grape soda and I would already have some pills that were absorbing in there. So while I was preaching, I would take a sip to make it look like I was drinking water, but I was actually drinking liquid codeine because it would go into my system quick. If this information got out to the leadership and the public, I could lose my job. If I lost my job, my financial means would have been gone, and I couldn't take care of my family. So I kept it to myself like so many people do today in order to protect their careers. And while all along I thought I was a functioning addict, everyone around me could see something totally different. People began to notice that I was losing a lot of weight. When I was taking pictures, my eyes looked really squinted. I was sweating a lot profusely all throughout the year. I was getting angry real quick. My attitude was bad. I was really aggressive in my conversations. My mind was racing in a state of mania when I was talking to people. And then when I would take medication, I would notice that I was the complete opposite in my perception. One day I was preaching out of town and I was on my way home and my wife informed me that she had left. And when I got home, the house was basically cleared out and she had gone. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to tell anybody, but I was still under the influence.
After talking to church leaders, Brandon stepped down as pastor and moved to another state.
When my family broke up, I thought I lost everything. I thought I was at rock bottom, but I really wasn't at rock bottom. I knew I needed to get free, so I went and saw a psychiatrist, was diagnosed with a mental health disorder. They also gave me a drug called Suboxone to help taper me off of my addiction. Then I got addicted to Suboxone. That's when I knew I needed divine help that could not come from humans. One day when it got so bad, I was laying down on a couch at the church and I was sweating profusely. And I said, "Lord, if you can get this demon out of my system, I will never put another drug in my mouth." So I picked up the phone. I had never done this before. And I called someone who was close to me and I disclosed my addiction because I knew they could relate. And that was the day that my life began to change because I opened up to someone and now I had someone praying for me. I had someone encouraging me. I had someone checking in on me. I had an accountability partner. The day that I spoke up and I said something to someone, then the healing process began.
When Brandon found the spiritual support he needed to rebuild his life, he wanted to put his journey to good use.
I am now a licensed chemical dependency counselor in Houston, Texas. I work for a one-year residential treatment facility that caters to men who are indigent. And I feel like I can relate to these guys now because I have been there, I've done that, and I've walked the line, and I know what it takes to get sober. So now I'm able to lead people as a pastor to Christ and as a counselor to recovery.
Brandon now encourages others to seek Christ today and to be honest about their struggles.
Everyone is dealing with some type of secret, some type of battle. But the longer you keep it in, you're going to continue to deteriorate. If you talk to someone and you share with someone your struggle or what you're going through, now you have a support system, someone who's going to hold you accountable and someone who's going to help you stay on that right path. And also going on to God in behalf of prayer that He can cleanse you and restore you.